Hi everyone. I wanted to start by making a guide video on refitting gear onto, or refitting mods rather, to another body type. You also may know this as upscaling or downscaling or whatever, resizing. But yeah, this is like my very first guide video, and I do want to preface this by saying that I know that there's like multiple guide videos on this already, but for the fun of it, for the heck of it, I just wanted to make my own regardless, because I think it's fun. I don't know. I like helping people, and if this helps someone, I don't know, it makes me happy. So here I am. Also, if you hear any cat noises in the background, don't mind it. It's just my cat having his zoomies or whatever. Or yelling at me. But yeah, I want to start by just refitting this shirt that I've been working on to another body type. Specifically Neolith XS. Right now it's on Lume, which is my own shape from the Bebo body. And yeah, I'm gonna plan on making this for AB small and Neolith extra small. It's gonna be, yeah, it's gonna be fun. So yeah, might as well get right into it. So obviously, first thing to do, let's start up text tools. And you're gonna want to put the base body in first, which in this case, because it's a female mod, it's gonna be the base Bebo body. For male mods, it's gonna be the just the base TBSC body. You don't need to really do anything here, because we're not going to use the Bebo body in any way, so just press finish and that's it. Alright, that's done. Good, cool, amazing. Next thing, I'm gonna put in Neolith, because that's gonna be the shape that I want to put the mod onto. And here, I don't really need to worry about these. All I really want to get here is like the nude body, like, in the size that I want to have it as. In this case, we only care about the top part, like the torso. I don't care about the legs, so I'm not gonna do anything here. Nothing from here. I'm just gonna press finish, and that's it. If you need legs, you would, only do legs. If part of your outfit is like also part of the torso and the legs both, you would need both of them, obviously. And so on and so forth. But yeah, that's done. And this part is something that I have to only do because my mod requires this to be installed. So I'm gonna install Lume because my Gisela top uses some of the Lume materials. I don't need the 3D model, so I'm gonna turn those off. Yeah, nothing else needs to be changed. Alright, that's done. And now, finally, I'm going to import Gisela. And yeah, I'm gonna keep all of these settings. Just finish it. Then I'll just continue. And it's gonna be right ready. There we go. And I know for sure it's going to replace Cyan Adventure's jacket, but if you don't know what yours is like replacing, or if you forgot it, you can just go to mods, manage mod list, and check here what it replaces. So for me, it's Cyan Adventures jacket. And the textures are working. Looks very nice. Cool. Awesome. That's what we need. So yeah, I have this here. So I'm gonna just do here, save as, and I press the little down arrow and SFBX, and I'll just save it right here where it directs me. And it's gonna take a little while for it to save it. There we go. And yeah, we want to keep this in mind. Yeah, Cyan Adventures jacket. Actually, I'm gonna press this button here, and it basically opens the file directory where you just saved your model. So it's right here. I'm gonna put it aside for now. We're gonna need it later. The path, specifically. And now I'm gonna go to small clothes, body, and for the record, this video is just for educational purposes only. So there's gonna be like a nude torso or whatever, but yeah, I'm just teaching people. So I go to small clothes, body, and this is the torso that I want to put the shirt on. So I'm going to save this as FBX and just name it, what was it? Neolithe extra small torso. There we go. And then I will wait just a few seconds for it to save it. Yeah, there we go. And then we do the same thing. We open the default save directory. It popped right here. I have it aside as well for now. And next thing, we're gonna open Blender. So we open Blender up, and we can just press general. And what we want to do is just actually, let me check if the screencast keys, yeah, let me turn this on so you can see here what I'm actually pressing, like that. So if you're ever lost, you can see what I just pressed right here for like 1 second, and yeah. So what we want to do here now, because of all this default stuff, just paint these like so and press delete to just get rid of all of it, all of that garbage right here. We don't need it. And I'm gonna do all of this in a very simple way. I do expect you to have some sort of base Blender knowledge, like how does the camera work, you know, this is how you move the camera with the middle mouse button, and by holding shift and using the middle mouse button you have more control over it. And yeah, and then you just zoom like this, and you have to keep in mind of the, you know, the middle area where your camera is, because it determines how far you can zoom in and when it starts slowing down, etc. All of that jazz. So yes, anyways, let's get back to the opened files that we have right here, these two. Also, I must apologize, all of my files and everything, or my settings, it's all in Finnish. But I'm sure you'll catch my drift, like what I'm trying to do here. So what we want to do is copy this path file, just close it, go back to Blender, go to File, Import, FBX, and then paste it right here. And yeah, then you just double click it, and the shirt is right here. And we press this viewport shading button right here, so it shows the textures for it. By clicking right here, hold on, let me make this a little smaller. By clicking this little arrow, it opens up the, you know, all the stuff, all the goodies. And by pressing this little down arrow here, it opens the root, the skeleton, the armature. These are all parts of the mod. So, let's close those for now. And let's also get the lithe body in here, neolithe rather. So we copy this as well. And go to File, Import FBX, and then paste it right here. And the neolithe extra small torso is what we need. So import FBX. And it's here. Nice. So, what I like to do to just reduce the clutter on this, you know, what is this called? On the outliner or whatever, this window here. I like to delete these group 0, group 1, group 2 because, I mean, you don't need to have them right here. They're unnecessary. It doesn't do anything bad if you delete those. So I'm going to do this for both of these mods. Just going to delete them like so. So for clarity's sake, let's see. This one is the neolithe torso. Let me adjust my camera a little bit. I'm gonna delete all of the piercings because I'm not gonna need them. Yeah. Just get rid of those. They're not necessary. I'm not gonna need them right now. I'll probably add the neolithe belly button piercing here at some point, but I'm gonna think about that later on. So, first things first. As we can see, let me turn this into the viewport shading, the wireframe mode for a second. The green outline shows the skeletons. So the skeletons for these mods, they're different. There's some similarities. Obviously, they're like overlapping, as you can see. They're flickering a little bit. But there's some extra skeleton going on, like on my mod, because, you know, the veil uses these extra bones to move itself around. So we're gonna have to use this skeleton. So what we have to do, let me turn this viewport shading onto material again. We want to move the neolithe body onto this skeleton here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna, you know, select all of these. Then I'm gonna hold Shift, and as I'm hovering on top of this, I'm gonna hold Alt as well and drop it in there. You have to drag it from here onto the en route. And you have to be holding Alt on top of the en route. Let me do that again, just in case. And if you forget what I'm pressing, just look here. So yeah, I'm holding Shift, then I'm gonna grab them. I'm hovering over the en route, and I'm holding Alt before I let go of them on top of the en route. There we go. If I don't hold Alt, if I just drag them here without pressing Alt, this is gonna happen. It's just gonna fall down. So to prevent that, we have to be holding Alt as well. There we go. And right now we're not gonna need the other skeleton anymore that neolithe left behind. So I'm gonna go ahead and just delete it, just to make it easier for our eyes and to reduce clutter. And right now, let's see. Yeah, this is the neolithe body. Let me hide these for a second. We do not need the Lumet body anymore, so I'm gonna choose these. Usually the body is marked by 0.x, 0 point something. So I'm gonna delete these and unhide the neolithe body like so. Now, what we have to make sure is that the neolithe body is like connected to this armature specifically, because right now, even though we dragged it onto the en route, it is still connected to the now gone armature that we deleted. So we have to go here onto the modifiers while we have one of these parts selected. And we can see that right here, the armature, this is red, so that means that it's empty. We have to assign it an armature. So we're gonna do this for every single part that we moved over. Just click on it, go to modifiers, and change this to the root that you moved it on under, which is this one, which is also the only one that we have. Nice. So right now that's taken care of, and we can actually get on to the refitting itself, the fun part. Oh, actually, one more thing. This part, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure that this part was removed from like Blender 4.1 and forwards. I'm not sure, but I'm using Blender 4.0.0. So I still have this option to do this easily. So if you see there's a little bit of flickering happening right now, that means that it's happening because this is translucent. As we can see in, actually we cannot see in text tools right now, but you can see there's a little outline of the body. It's because this is translucent. How do we stop it from flickering? Well, for people who use Blender 4.0.0 or earlier, you would basically just, choose the part of the outfit that's flickering, which is material, which is this, and then you go to material. We're gonna collapse the surface, and then in the settings here, you change the blend mode to either alpha clip or alpha hashed. I like to use alpha hashed myself. And I'm pretty sure it automatically does it for every single part except when it changes the part to another number. So I'm gonna put that alpha hashed as well, even though it's not really necessary right now. But regardless, that's how you make the translucency work. Or I'm pretty sure you can just, I guess alpha clip doesn't work. Alpha blend works a little bit, but it's a bit glitchy. So I just like to use alpha hashed. But anyway, that's not something you have to worry about if you don't have translucency, any sheer material whatsoever. If it's just opaque, then you're good to go. But now, that we got all of that out of the way, let's get into the refitting part. So to make this easier to see as well, I'm gonna hide the bones. So go to here to enroute and just click on the eyeball and it hides them all, which is awesome. And now what we want to do is ignore these 0.x parts because they're the skin, and just choose all of these parts. Actually, in this case, I'm going to ignore the... in this case, I'm actually going to delete the belly button piercing because we're not going to need it right now. But yes, choose all of these, all of the parts that are, part of the actual top, and press tab to go into edit mode. And one first thing that we need to do here is either go up here and just press this, or you can just press O, and you can see how it toggles on and off. We have to make sure that this is on. This is proportional editing, and I'm going to show you the difference between proportional editing on and proportional editing off. It's extremely important for refitting clothes. So I'm going to show it first if it's off. So let's see. I'm going to choose this tool here. Let's say I choose this this part or whatever. You can see it's pulling only one part, like so. Actually, that's a little bit of a bad one to use it on. Anyway, this one right here. You can see it's only pulling one vertex, or vertex, and it would take absolutely forever if I had to just do this one by one like this. No, never do that. No, no, no. Or like this even. No, don't do that. Just turn on proportional editing, and then you just click somewhere and you can see it's moving the entire thing. Now, we don't really want that either, right? So how do we fix this? Well, you see, let's zoom out a little bit. You see that black circle right there? Let's go a little bit closer, actually. This black circle right here is the AoE, the area of effect for the proportional editing. So what we need to do is, as we are holding, okay, this is really difficult to explain, and here is where most people have difficulties when I've tried to explain this to them. So yeah, you just click on a vertex, and then you start dragging. You can start dragging from any of these like arrows right here. I like to use this tool as a guidance. It helps me. It works out for me. Yeah, you just grab on one of these, whatever you want, and you hold on to it. Just hold on to it. Don't let go of it. And start scrolling forwards. Like so. And you can see how the area of effect goes smaller or goes bigger if you scroll away. And that is exactly what we want. So you just have to make sure that you're holding on to it. If you let go of it, it's not going to work. If you just click on it once, it's not going to work. You have to be holding on to it like this, and then you have the control to use your mouse wheel and fix it up like that. So yeah, hopefully that was easy enough to follow. It might take a while to, you know, get control of it properly, but you'll get there, I'm sure. But yeah, just hold onto the arrow, and while you are holding onto the arrow, you have to be holding onto it, otherwise it won't work. You then just at the same time scroll your mouse wheel in and out, and it changes the area of effect. You get it. Yeah. So always have proportional editing on. You need it, especially for refitting. Now, I need, let me think if I've actually forgotten to say something still. Okay, so I think one thing that's also very important to note, choose all of these parts, and to make it easier, just press tab, and to go to edit mode, press A, and then go to mesh up here, clean up, and merge by distance. And then click on this little window here, and I would put one more 0 onto here and just press enter. And you can say here, it says removed 144 vertices. It basically combined vertices that, you know, there was a seam somewhere and it connected those vertices. For an example here, you can see there's like, I made a seam here. So let me turn proportional editing off so I can show this. These are not actually connected, these two vertices here. And this can cause issues if you're refitting gear onto your new body type, because this seam may just, you know, break, and that's going to cause issues. So to prevent that from happening before you start refitting the model, make sure that you choose all of the parts. Go to edit mode by pressing tab and press A to select all, and then go to mesh, clean up, merge by distance, and add that many zeros, and then it'll tell you how many it connected together. So now if we go here and check the seam again, it's connected. You can see it's all lighting up perfectly. Awesome, that's exactly what we need. Now issues won't happen with that. Because my top has so many parts, I have to make sure that I always have these selected together. So now we can actually get to the important part, which is the refitting. So let's just start with the easy parts, I guess. So the straps here, for an example. If I can't see, some parts that are inside of the body, I'm gonna usually press the wireframe and just, choose the parts or whatever, like so. Sometimes it's good if you use the mirror mode, like so. Sorry, I didn't actually turn the proportional editing on. There can be issues with this if you use the mirror mode, especially if you have multiple parts. For some reason, it's not going to work like that. So I don't personally recommend using the mirror mode because it's so finicky. It's really picky with whatever it chooses, because I have 2 straps here because of back faces. I'm gonna explain that later, I think. But yeah, don't use this. I would just disable that. Don't use the mirror mode on this, especially if you have multiple parts. There can be issues. So what I like to do is I'll press right here. This has I'll press on one of these little orbs here. It's the XYZ, camera viewpoints and whatnot. And I'm gonna go to this one here, so I get a straight, x-axis view of the shirt. And I'm gonna I'm in wireframe mode, and I'm going to paint this one and this one. I'm doing that by holding shift, and then dragging, so I can choose both of them, at the same time. And because I did it by using this camera angle, it chose both of these, because this top that I made is symmetrical, aside from the veil. The veil is not symmetrical, so yeah. But everything else is symmetrical with this mod. This method will not work. If the mod is not symmetrical, you're gonna have to kind of just go at it and click on a vertex and pull it, and then click on another vertex and pull that and whatnot. But this method works if the mod is perfectly symmetrical. But yes, I'm going to choose these here. So they're both chosen from both sides. I'm going to go back into viewport shading material. You can also change viewport shading just by holding Z. It pops this up and you can just change between wireframe, material preview, rendered, solid. But yeah, I have the proportional editing on, and I'm gonna start doing this, just pulling it out and making sure if this is like too little and it looks too bumpy like so, I'm gonna make the area of effect like larger, like so, and I'm gonna pull it out more like that. And I think that looks pretty good. Yeah, it can hover a little bit, it doesn't matter. I'm not too picky about that. Next would be these parts. Let's see if I can get these symmetrically. Yeah, I have to go just really close. Paint those. And now it has, yep, both of those sides. Actually, I think I need to just choose all of these. Let me go inside of the body and turn wireframe on, and I'm just gonna hold shift and pull like this, so it chooses that whole thing. So it makes it easier. And then just proportional editing on I'm gonna put it somewhere there. Yeah, I think that looks pretty nice. It also affected this a little bit, but yeah, it looks good. Yeah, then I'm gonna fix these problem children here. I'm gonna use this again. Paint it. And right now, because we're not pulling this to the back or upwards, if I try to pull this to the side like so, it's gonna work here, but it's gonna pull it that way from here. So what I like to use here is I like to change to the scale tool here, and for this I need to use the red one. So make sure you see this red line right here going across the screen right now. That means that you're using the red one. If you don't see it, if you don't see the red line going like right now across the screen, that means you're just making this bigger like so. So you have to make sure that you're seeing the red line right there. This way, it's essentially just, you know, making it larger on the x-axis, which is exactly what we need to hide this here. And it did the exact same thing here. Mirrored it. So yeah, we're gonna do the same thing here. Wireframe. Oh, which one was it? I already forgot. There, and paint that one. Nice. There's probably other methods to use, but these are how I learned to do everything. I either learned it by myself or I saw someone else do it, but this is easiest for me. I'm sure that there's tons of other ways of doing these things. Some people just remember the keybinds, which I do not. I'm not that smart. So I just use the tools themselves. Now, I don't know if this is maybe even too wide. Oops. So let's see here. To the wireframe mode and back to the material one, and let's see if we can make this. Oh yeah, and don't be afraid to bring it in a little bit so that it clips, because it's just closer to the skin. And we're gonna fix that very soon anyways. Now let me change back to the move tool, and I think I wanna, yeah, I'm gonna use this, and then wireframe, and do this again. Back to material, then pull it, adjust proportional editing, AOE as necessary. And I'm very perfectionistic with all of this, so it might take a little bit for me. Also, don't mind the nipples poking out. We're going to be removing those at the end after the weight painting is done. So for now, just they can poke through. It's okay. So let's go to the next part right here. We want to pull this out as well on the y-axis. Like so. Yeah, actually, yeah, that looks nice. I'm gonna make it a little bigger. And I don't like how that is poking out, so I'm gonna just go to wireframe mode real quick and paint that whole thing. And I don't want it to be so sharp like that, so I'm gonna soften it a little bit and pull it out. There we go. That looks much better. And then these parts. Oh, this is really have to go close like that. Oh, I don't think my model is perfectly symmetrical. Oh well, the more you learn. Anyway. And then I'll just pull it out like so. Make the effect AOE a little bit higher. There you go. Or wider. Bigger, rather. And now I know these are going to be, you know, mirrored, so I'm going to choose just both of them. Anyway. This doesn't need to be that big of an area. I'm going to choose these, and the same ones are these ones. And there we go. The chest area looks pretty good. Notice I changed the scale one at this point again because I'm gonna change it in the x-axis. This doesn't look half bad. It's actually really nice right now. I think one of the last things to do is to actually fix these straps. Gonna do the mirroring as well here. Or not mirroring, but this thing that I like to do. I'm sure there's an easier way that I haven't figured out yet. And then I'll just pull it out like that. I think that looks nice. Yeah. Doesn't matter if it just... Well, actually, I pull it a little bit more. I don't want it to be clipping or anything, so I want to give it a little bit of space to actually, you know, move. There is a little hole here that I do want to patch. Alright, and then just pull them again. Yeah, I want to make sure that there's no gap whatsoever. Or just a minimal one. It's not looking half bad, actually. There's just small little things right here. I'm gonna pull this on the z-axis upwards a little bit. There we go. Looking pretty good. And just a little bit of here. A little bit more at this spot. Pull it down a little. Yeah, that's looking pretty damn good. Okay. And then I just press tab to go back into object mode. Yeah, that's not half bad. Not half bad at all. So, successful refit, I guess. Oh. No, actually, that doesn't matter. It's so close. It really doesn't matter. Unnecessary. But right now, yeah, that's basically it. Now, because the Neolith and Lumet chests are pretty close to each other, it's not really necessary for me to do weight painting again, but I'm gonna do it just to show you what it, you know, entails and whatnot. So I like to use the robust weight transfer tool to, you know, weight paint. I'm gonna link that onto the description. It's very useful. I love it. I love using it so much. It makes everything way much more easier and way much more smoother than what it normally would be if you would do it manually, piece by piece. And yeah, a little note here. If you want to install this, you would go to Edit, Preferences, and here to add-ons, and you would click here on the install, and you would just install the robust weight transfer zip file, and then you just toggle it on right here. Yeah, that's about it. and then it appears right here. All of your add-ons appear right here, depending on, you know, what window it's usually used in. So, yeah. Okay, let's start weight painting then. So what I like to start with is I'm going to choose all of the body parts, and I'm going to duplicate these body parts. So I'm going to press Shift D and then just let go by pressing right mouse button right after. And now you can see it created a duplicate of them. It has a lot of zeros and whatnot. Don't unselect these, but keep your mouse hovered onto this 3D viewport and press Ctrl J. And by pressing that, you just merge them all together. This is what we need. This is going to make weight painting very easy for us. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to hide the original pieces of the torso. And now we have this merged one right here with the multiple zeros. Good. That's what we need. And now, basically, okay, I need to explain something here. So, as you can see, my mod has multiple parts here. It has, you know, this part, and then this part has it twice. This is for the reason of back faces. If I didn't have two of these, there would be weird triangles that would show up here, and you would be able to see the triangles. And to be able to negate that, you have to create a duplicate piece of that part and flip the normals on that part so that shear material can work properly. At this point, I haven't found any other way to fix that, except just that. And I see other people doing that as well. So if it works, you know? Same thing with the straps. Because I hide the back faces on this top because it's necessary. I have, it's necessary for the shear part to actually work. If you're using the opaque version, then this doesn't really matter. It's just extra polygons on the shirt, which may be not really something that some people might want to have, but anyways. If I didn't have a second part of these white linings or whatever as well, it would just, you know, show the back faces as empty. So there would be a void here, nothing. So I had to create a duplicate of these as well and flip the normals so they would show up even if back faces are toggled off. And then there's the ribbon. So, what I like to do is if there's duplicate parts of, like, you know, any of the material, I want to delete, I usually delete the duplicate parts, because right now they're unnecessary. We can recreate them later, so don't worry about those. Just make sure that you have one of each part at this point. This might be different for other mods, but for this top specifically that I created, I'm gonna do this. So, yeah. I'm gonna make the torso show up again. And I'm going to do the weight painting by using the robust weight transfer. And I'm also gonna show it how to do it manually. But I prefer the robust weight transfer. In fact, I'm going to show how to do it manually first. Let's make it fun. So, essentially, you're going to click on this top here, or the torso rather, and then hold Control and click on the first part right here. You can see how the torso is like blue and the next part is green, or whatever colors you have here. I'm pretty sure it's like orange instead of green, but whatever. Then you go here and you change the mode to weight paint. And you can see the top part is blue. That's good. It's correct. Then go to weights and transfer weights. And you would go here and go here to nearest vertex and change it to nearest face interpolated. And change this to 1 meter. And then this to by name. And now if we go here onto the data tab, you can see all of these vertex groups just appeared here. In fact, actually let me show it to you again, just in case. Oh, I actually forgot something very, very important. I'm so sorry. Sorry, let me go back in here. Because this was already weighted for Lume, I'm going to, go here into the data tab for this part of the cloth and click on this little arrow here and delete all groups. We want to clear the weights first. I'm so sorry, I forgot this. Do this for all of the parts here. Oh, except if you see that there are extra bones like JX top AL or whatever, if it has the X, don't delete it. So in this case, I'm gonna lock these ones like so. And then just carefully delete these around them, because those extra bones are what makes the veil, actually flow nicely. So I do not want to delete these. Do not delete X bones ever. Do not ever delete those. Next one. I can delete all of these except the X bones. Very carefully. Same thing here. Don't delete those two. And I'm locking them because, they're not going to get overwritten if they're locked. Or deleted or whatever. Oh my god, did I delete the X bones from this one? No, this one doesn't have them because this is static. It doesn't flow. Okay. We're good. Crisis averted. Anyway, let's get back to it. So, I'm going to show you the original way first, then the robust weight transfer. So, click on the torso, hold Control, and click on the first part of the cloth. Go here to weight paint mode, weights, transfer weights, then, nearest face interpolated, 1 meter, by name. Make sure the mix mode is replaced. Okay, so it worked. Great. Yeah. And in order to more properly see the area that the weight is affecting, go up here onto this icon, the weight paint icon, and change this 0 weights to active. It'll show only the ones as colored that are active. All the black areas are what the weights are not affecting. So yeah, very nice and all. One thing with the old way of transferring weights like this, one thing that's really annoying about it is that it also adds weights that are not used by this part of the cloth. It adds literally every single bone in the armature, every single weight on that bone onto this part, even though this part wouldn't be using some of these. Robust weight transfer won't do that. It only adds necessary bone weights. Then we go back to object mode, click on the torso again, and then hold Control and click on the next part of the cloth. Next part of the clothing, rather. Go to weight paint, weights, transfer weights. And you can see because we locked these ones, they are untouched, which is exactly what we need. And it's a bit difficult to see because of the alpha hashed that I'm using, but the same settings are saved right here, so you don't have to change anything. You only have to set them for that one very first time. And here we can see some of the parts are used, some of them are not used, and here are the X bones and whatnot. Yeah, back to object mode. Repeat the pattern. Torso, next part, weight paint mode, weights, transfer weights. Cool, awesome. Back to object mode, torso. Last part, weight paint, weights, transfer weights. There we go. That's the old way of weight painting. And what you would do at this point, I'm pretty sure, is you would also go to back here and quantize. Yeah, go to weights and quantize. And then I'm pretty sure you change this from 4 to 255 and press enter. And then go back to weights and normalize all and all groups. Change to all groups, my friend. Whatever. Anyway, this is not the method I use anymore because frankly it takes too much time and it's annoying, and there can be some errors that may happen and it's just a headache. So I'm gonna delete all of these now. That's the old way of weight painting that I used to do. Some people might have done it differently, but that's how I learned it. Robust weight transfer is free to use, so you should definitely download that because it's gonna save you a heck of a lot brain cells and time. So let me make this smaller. Okay, so how are we gonna make this easy and nice for us? So you have the robust weight transfer open here. On the sidebar, it's the one that says sent in all caps, because sent from space is the one who made this. I'm gonna click this eyedropper tool right here, and I'm gonna hover over the torso here on the list, so it chooses that as the source for the weights. Then I'm simply going to just click on the cloth part and transfer weights. And you can see it transferred only the weights that it needs. Then just click the next one. Transfer weights. Keeps these ones untouched, and it only adds the ones that are necessary. Same thing here. And same thing here. Bada bing, bada boom. It's done. Awesome. And yeah, you just weighted your model. Awesome. Right now, I'm going to hide the merged torso right there. Make that a little smaller. And I'm going to unhide the individual torso parts. And right now, we're gonna have to delete the nipples because we don't need them. We don't want them poking out all the time, right? So just click on the torso part, click tab or press tab to go into edit mode, and then make sure that your camera is like inside of the body. I like to do it this way. And I like to use this, go up here in edit mode and use this select mode, like face select mode. So I can just, select faces like this. Let me make sure that I'm not selecting too many of these. So what you want to do is just click on one of these faces and hold Control, and yeah, keep on clicking in small increments, and it creates like, this nice circle. And at this point, while it's selected, all of those are selected, I'm gonna make sure that it's not noticeable from outside. It's noticeable a little bit, but okay, let me make it a bit smaller. So yeah, just hold Control, keep on clicking like this to create a little circle. Not noticeable at all. Good. This is what we need. And I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side. So hold hold shift right now, and then click on here. So the active one moves onto here. Then hold control again and start clicking here in small increments to make the same sort of circle. Then just press delete and hold on. You can just, right click and delete faces like so. And then I like to do it like that because now it's easy to just select the whole areola and nipple part by hovering over this and pressing L. And then hovering over here and pressing L. And now you have those both selected. Just right click, delete faces. And they're gone. You did it. You've done it. Good job. And now, you can just, I don't know. I'm probably gonna just delete the merged torso or whatever. But yeah, that's honestly basically it. At this point, make sure that your root is showing. This is necessary. And make sure, click on all of the parts and make sure that they're all under the same root here. As you can see. They're all under N root, which is good. We need that. Then just go here all the way to the top and right click it and select hierarchy. Also, the way that I save this and export this out from Blender, this is how I learned to do it. So someone else might do it in a different way and use different settings, but this is how I do it. There are multiple different settings that people like to use. Some people don't like to select these at all, and they have export settings as just whatever you have here showing. Multiple different ways of doing it, but this is how I do it. So right click, select hierarchy. So we have everything selected, bones and all. Go to File, Export, FBX, and this is the body Cyan Adventures Jacket 3D. Okay, I'm just gonna make this Gisela Neolife extra small, and I have a set of presets here, ffxiv triangulate modifier. So let me show you here what I have. So I have limit to selected objects, apply unit, use space transform, apply transform, that is toggled off. Do not bake the animation, and yeah, don't bake it. Armature, untick these. Geometry, tick apply modifiers, everything else is unticked. And yeah, these are my settings, and then you can save those settings by just pressing this plus and naming it whatever you want. I have it named here so I don't have to do it all the time. Those are the settings that I use. And then I just export FBX. And then I'm gonna go back to text tools and onto the Cyan Adventures jacket, because that's the one that I use. Nice. And then load. And here it is, Gisela Neolife extra small. And yeah, let me check Open Editor. Sometimes you would just press the load model, but I'm gonna show you what's behind Open Editor because there might be times when you have to change some things in here. So, the 0 root node, 0 is, the skin and the body, the torso, all of that. 1 is, all the clothing parts and whatnot. Oh, I actually forgot something very important. I'm so sorry. Sorry. So I had duplicates of these things. I wonder if I'm actually able to, hold on, let me do this real quick. I'm gonna confirm this. Well, oh yeah, here. See. So I loaded the model. You can see I didn't create the duplicates from this. There's only one of the sheer one and only one of these straps and whatnot. And if I have back faces turned off, it would quite literally have back faces turned off. I can't see anything. It would be a void. This is how it would show up in game as well. I would not see the back side of the top at all. It would be empty. So if I go here, edit material flags, and turn the back faces on. Did I turn them? Wait. Oh. I make the back faces show up again. You can see this is the triangle issue that I was talking about with sheer material. Now it looks completely fine when you look through here, but when there's two sheer materials, like you can see through both of them, it creates this issue. And well, the only way to combat it is by let me show you. The only way to combat it is by creating a duplicate of the sheer part, and also in this case, for me specifically, also a duplicate of the straps. It's probably not necessary for all parts of the straps, but I'm gonna probably change that later. So now let me do this again. Select hierarchy, file, export FBX, and export FBX. And now, if we go to load, and now let's check this out, the editor. All right. So yeah, this is the body, and we can see here the Bebo skin is assigned as the material. If you were to, for an example, put this top onto TBSC, you would have to change this to TBSC. Or if you were to put it onto like AB, like I will be doing, I would change this to skin B, which is Gen 3. AB is a Gen 3 body. Yeah. And then this one is the top. Material B is the piercing that I deleted earlier, but it's not here right now, so not necessary. So yeah, that's about that. Yeah, then we just confirm. And don't worry about these warnings that it gives you. It basically just tells you that you changed vertices weight data, which is, well, yeah, you refitted an outfit to another body type and you re-weighted it. So it's telling you here, like, oh my god, you changed the weights. Like, duh. Anyway, close that. And then save to ffxiv. You can see the, oh, wait. I'm sorry again. I forgot to, flip the weights onto the duplicates, or flip the normals rather. So I would select these, select one, and then hold Control and select the next one. Press Tab to go into edit mode, mesh, normals, flip. Yep. And that's gonna fix the issue, essentially. I'm gonna show you. Let me do this real quick. I'm very forgetful. I hope you can forgive me. I don't do it on purpose. I swear. Alright, so save that, and then you can see it's still happening, but that's because I haven't changed the thing here. So we go into the materials here, edit material flags, and hide back faces. Confirm, save to ffxiv. And because of that, it's fixed. No more triangles whatsoever. So just to, you know, shed some light as to why some outfits have multiple parts of the same model. That's why. Probably because of, it's mainly because of backface issues. Or for sheer material, etc. Something like that. But yeah, this looks pretty damn nice. Good job, very good job. Now we go to mods, create mod pack, and I'm gonna do from items. Normally I would create an advanced mod pack because it's just what I do. But I would, just because this is just a quick refit, I would go from items to make it simple and easy. And then this is replacing Cyan Adventures jacket. Select item, all files, confirm, final review, Gisela, what the heck, Gisela refit. Yeah, sure. Create mod pack, and just save it wherever. And then tab back in game, and yeah, just gonna put it in here. Mod creations here, Gisela refit, and there you can see it changed slightly. And there might be issues at this point that you might notice. As you can see, there's already an issue. But this is mainly a weighting issue. It can be fixed quite easily by merging some of the mesh parts together and reweighting it again. Let me show you real quick. So yeah, if this happens, that you see gaps forming when you did it, you know, one by one, you know, part by part, there's a way to fix this. Do not fret. We can fix it very easy. So yeah, I'm gonna delete the duplicates that I created, because right now we can recreate them again later on. So what I'm gonna do right now, and this is kind of something that might mess it all up. You kind of have to remember which parts are which. But yeah. You know, as a reference, I would recommend that you create a duplicate of these. Wait, actually, I'm gonna try something new here. I'm gonna try data transfer. All right. So have all of these selected. Press Shift D to duplicate it. Right click to let go of it, and then Control J. And hide all of these parts here. All of the ones that were separate. Now that we have all of these together, which is what we want, let's test it this way. I'm going to go to mesh. Okay, sorry. I'm gonna click on it, click tab to go into edit mode, and press A to choose all, select all, then go to mesh, clean up, merge by distance. We're doing the same thing as before. Make sure it's this much, and it looks like that. Yeah, sure. And right now, let's go here onto the data. All of the X-bones are still locked, which is good. Let's delete all of the ones that are open. Right. And let me create the torso merge again. Oh, actually, this is going to be quite awkward because it doesn't have the nipples, so it's going to have just empty circles there. Let me hide this real quick. And let me re-import the Neolith body. There we go. Neolith small torso. I'm gonna delete the extra groups here, and I'm gonna open its root, and I'm going to delete the piercings, and I'm going to just merge this all together, choose them all, and press Ctrl J here. And I'm going to hold Shift and Alt to drop it under this root, and I'm going to clean up the root that it left behind. And I'm going to click on the torso, and I'm going to change its root to the one right here. Otherwise, the weight paint won't probably work properly. Or maybe it will, who knows. Then hover to the eyedropper tool, choose it, and let's click on the merged or mashed up together, yeah, this one. And then go to data and just transfer weights. So we have them here. And at this point, I'm just gonna hide this. And this is actually something kind of experimental that I am also testing right now. But I'm going to go to all of these old parts that I have and deleting all of their weights, even the X bones weights. Right now it doesn't matter. We're gonna figure it out together. And now I'm going to make all of these show up. Okay. And I'm gonna go to here onto the modifiers tab, and click on the first part of the clothing, add modifier, data transfer, drag it, you see these little dots here, drag it all the way up here on top, and use the eyedropper tool and choose the merged together clothing piece as the source. We're gonna essentially take its weights. I am pretty certain actually, hold on a minute. Okay, I figured it out. So, now that you have the data transfer here, yeah, you chose this merged together clothing piece as the source. You would then click on the vertex data, click on this little arrow, click on vertex groups, change the mapping to, or just keep it as nearest vertex. I'm pretty sure that's good enough. Then click generate data layers. And now at this point it should have, yeah, it generated all of the weights here. And then I'm just gonna apply the modifier to make it go away. And I'm gonna do this to every single one of these parts. The same exact thing. Vertex data, vertex groups, generate data layers. Let's check here. Yep, did it. And just apply. Next one, data transfer, drag that up. Eyedrop tool that. Vertex data, vertex groups, generate data layers, and apply. And the last one, data transfer, oops, eyedrop, vertex data, groups, generate data layers. And they all worked. I'm pretty sure this should work just fine. At this point, you can delete this mashup. So, you know how I mentioned at the beginning, when we started doing the refitting process, I talked about seams and how those could cause issues, such as this. Just gaps and openings, because the weights are not properly applying to the next area and next part of the clothing. It's gonna create gaps. So this time, I basically mashed all of those clothing pieces together, and then I went to edit mode and went to mesh and clean up and merge by distance to merge all the seams together, so there's quite literally no seams to be had, then I weighted this. And I used this as a source and transfer that weight data to each of these pieces. So technically right now, I'm quite sure that there shouldn't be any gaps on the mesh itself. So let's test this. Let's see if it works. I'm just gonna make these parts show up, and I'm gonna create the duplicates so I don't forget of the shear part and the straps. And so that I don't forget, I'm going to click and select those, go into edit mode, press A to select all mesh, normals, and flip. There we go. And go to here again, select hierarchy, file, export, FBX. And I'm just gonna save it on top of that one again. And just gonna load it up here real fast, real quick. Okay. Gonna do a quick save. And go here again, create mod pack from items, all files, continue, final review. I don't know, Gisela refit, sure. Same as before. Yeah, override it, I do not mind. Then go back into the game. Let's see if that did anything, or if it did anything at all. Gisela refit. Self. Yep. No gaps anymore. The gaps are gone. So that's how you can fix, you know, gaps like between seams and whatnot. But yet still keep the seams there so that it still looks fine and proper. Now, what I do recommend doing at this point as well is, going into Glamourer and checking here, go to the customization and checking your bust size. And here you could see that there's some clipping happening at the maximum bust size. So if this doesn't bother you, and if you use like, you know, the smallest chest size or something like that, good for you, awesome. You could either fix this by going into Blender and simply just deleting this part of the skin underneath, and just make sure that it cannot be seen, like the deleted part of the skin. You can't see like the void behind it from any angle in game. Or simply just pull it out more. But I probably would delete the skin underneath, because yeah, that's way much more efficient if you ask me. So you would essentially just go here onto the torso and just zoom in and start, you know, deleting areas and whatnot, and make sure that, you know, you can't see those deleted areas from outside and such. Then you can just right click and delete vertices. Yeah. And if all of this stuff is just for yourself, no one cares what it's gonna look like from the inside, so you can just go ham and like delete the vertices wherever you want, and here and there and there and here, and make sure that it looks good on your character. But I do recommend that you're a bit more, I guess, perfectionistic or careful if you're doing it publicly and to like other people, because I'm sure people appreciate when you're being careful with the work that you do. But I think that's a nice wrap up for now. For my very first guide video. I hope that this helped, and I know that this wasn't really like a big chest change or whatever, but I really just wanted to do something simple like this. Yeah, to just start it and make it all nice and easy and whatnot. But thank you so much for watching, and if you have any issues, questions, recommendations for future guide videos, whatever you have on your mind, just let me know. Thank you very much. Bye bye.